So since Westworld is ending with season 4, let's talk about Marvel's Phase 4.
Ooh.
Perfect segue.
Thanks, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
So Marvel had a presentation at San Diego Comic-Con where they listed a bunch of their Phase 4 properties.
Yeah, shit, I wasn't even watching the thing for Comic-Con or anything. I just had Facebook up, and every time I refreshed it was like, hey, this movie's coming out. What do you think of this shit?
Yep.
Hey, look at this right here.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy Saturday night.
Yeah.
And like, so there's been in the past when they've unveiled their plan for a phase, not everything stays. Some of the names change.
Right.
Things still get shuffled around. So this is far from concrete as far
Absolutely.
as I'm concerned.
No,
Yeah.
you're absolutely correct.
And with what they've unveiled, I was nonplussed. Is that a good word for it?
I think that means like you were neither joyful, you were neither depressed about it. Like, yeah, I think that's fair.
I was just kind of middle of the road because so much of it is Disney Plus,
And
I just like,
that's
oh
such a
man,
bummer, man.
It is. I'm look, I'm all in with Marvel, as you know, with you. I'm sure you guys are too. The MCU, not Disney Plus.
Yeah.
But look, I don't know what the fuck Shang-Chi is. Before this Comic-Con, I had never heard of it, and then I saw that they had a Marvel Legends figure for it coming out, and then now I know why they're having a Marvel Legends figure for it coming out, because they're gonna have a movie for him.
I've been aware of that character, and I'll always reference this when we talk about Marvel. I have that Marvel encyclopedia that I bought in like 2002. Shang-Chi is a character that's in it, and he's part of the Marvel Knights chapter. So I'm aware of who he is, but like, of all the properties that they own, I'd like,
I mean,
and I feel like they think that just because they threw, the 10 rings in there, like everybody's going to be like, wait a minute, I like the 10 rings too. Like,
well, they're taking a risk
don't
like
know.
they did with Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody knew who the Guardians were, and that's one of the MCU's biggest properties.
At this point, nothing is a risk.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got a Marvel Studios label in front of it. It's going to fucking do $1 billion. It doesn't matter.
And fucking Kung Fu was awesome, and there's going to be a lot of awesome
Kung
fight
Fu
scenes.
is awesome.
Yeah.
But the last time that they did something related to Kung Fu, it
Now
was
that-
a piece of hot shit.
Now,
Fair.
if you're talking about Iron Fist, that's not MCU.
Clearly. Clearly. I think what this did more than anything was prove that those shows never mattered.
Right.
Which
Unfortunately,
fucking sucks.
it does.
And that's one of the reasons I don't give a shit about Disney Plus. I'm actually
And like,
kinda mad at them.
we won't get any of those characters specifically. I think till 2021 is when
Right.
that
They're
agreement
back to be
runs
on the
out.
table, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's like a 2-year thing after their shows are done, and Jessica
Yes.
Jones was the last one.
Yep.
So 2 years from June is when you could start thinking about them being on the table. So in 2 years at Comic-Con, which would be 2021, they might be involved in fucking phase 5 or 6 or something, which is sad as shit for me.
Yeah.
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 And that's
'Cause
if
I
they
went
don't,
from- I
that's
went
if
from-
they don't recast them too.
Oh, they're definitely going to recast them. There's no chance that they don't.
Zero
Which is
interest,
sad
man.
because Kingpin was awesome and Daredevil was perfectly like they were all perfectly
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah.
I went from, and Andrew, I don't know if you remember this, we had a conversation in BAM when we had first started working together, and you were like, "Oh, Daredevil's pretty cool," and because we were putting away comics and fucking around and not working
Every day.
And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I don't really give a shit about Daredevil because I didn't at the time. I was like, low rent Batman.
And then
But this
and then I
show
just punched you
opened
in the
me up
stomach
to.
as hard as I could. Remember?
Yes, you almost did. But I was too quick. Use my
sensed it
radar
coming.
sense. And then this show opened me up to the character in a way that I didn't think I would enjoy with season 1 and then going forward from there. And then I started reading Daredevil comics after that. And now I love the character. He's one of my favorite Marvel characters ever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the fact that Netflix doesn't matter sucks.
It does. For me, that kind of thing already happened with when I realized that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had no bearing on the movies, but the movies had bearing on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because for the first 4 seasons, I was into that show. I really liked that show. I love Clark Gregg as Phil Coulson. So yeah, I get where you're coming from. I don't know. If we eventually, it's possible that they have the same cast people or the same people who are casting those roles come in. It's possible. I don't know.
But I feel like it's not even just the casting; it should be the crew and all the production behind it, because it's that.
Well, it's never going to be that, because it's a TV show, and I mean, unless they bring them to Disney Plus, which I don't give a fuck about. I want these characters in the fucking movies. So
yeah.
I won't care if it's Disney Plus.
Fuck it,
So we should just run through the slate that they announced, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, and then just shit all over Disney Plus after that.
Okay.
So they announced the Black Widow prequel film, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, The Eternals, Shang-Chi, WandaVision, Doctor Strange 2, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Thor: Love and Thunder, and fucking Blade.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Let's get that out of the way real quick.
The Blade announcement is where they slit the throat of the Netflix series, put it in a dumpster, and rolled it off a cliff. Because he was Cottonmouth in Luke Cage.
Right.
So
fair.
Clearly they don't have a connection.
But he died. So that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
They just look alike.
They could have him.
Wow, Andrew.
As soon as
they could have him be Blade and have the Netflix characters and actors come. Anyway, I'm just saying. I thought that was fucking mind blowing when they announced that.
I think because I feel like there was rumors like a year ago or something like that where his name was connected to a Blade adaptation or something.
Really? Wow.
I distinctly remember there being like talks of it, or if it was like, I don't know if it was like a piece of fan art that got popular, something where it was just in like the national conversation of him being Blade, or if somebody had just like thrown it out there.
The
as
official
like a fan
narrative,
cast.
the official narrative that they're saying right now is that Mahershala Ali called Kevin Feige and was like, "Yeah, I'd like to make a Blade movie," and Kevin Feige's like, "Fuck yeah!"
Okay, that's awesome. Maybe he saw the fan art and was like, "Hell yeah, I'll do that."
Yeah, fucking 2-time Oscar winner is going to be Blade. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. And he's so fucking good. Like I could talk about that dude forever because he's awesome.
I still haven't watched the 3rd season of True Detective, but he's the only reason I want to watch it. Like,
dude, it's so good, and his performance is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I started it and never went back, but it's over like, what are they, like 4 different time frames?
Wow.
Yeah.
And he's doing all of them. It's so good.
Good.
I'd say that was the biggest announcement from Marvel Phase 4.
I would think so.
Blade?
And that we don't even have a time for when that's gonna. They didn't give a date for that.
No,
they just announced that it's going to happen. So it might not even technically be part of quote Phase 4 end quote, which is interesting to me that they're calling it Phase 4 when Kevin Feige said, "Yeah, after Endgame there are no more phases," and then at Comic-Con he's like, "Hey, here's Phase 4."
That's probably more just like a wording thing.
Yeah, like a
it's
scheduling thing for them.
Absolutely understand, and it's for all the people who can't comprehend that there can't be phases now,
Right.
But we've already had phases. How can we not have phases? You have to have
like
phases.
That, rather than him have to stand on stage and explain that, like, now there's just going to be a sequence of films that are released. He's got to, he's just going to be like, yeah, fucking Phase 4, whatever.
Yeah. Like Andrew said, filthy casuals. Goddamn plebs.
Fucking plebs.
So the Black Widow standalone prequel thing, I stand alone in that I'm like so not captured by the idea of it.
Can you imagine how awesome it would be if it just came out before Endgame? Right after, right after Infinity War.
Exactly. Any time in between Iron Man 2 when she was introduced and all of the years that they could have beat DC to a female-fronted film first, to up into after Infinity War would have been awesome. But it's the Rogue One syndrome for me, in that I'm not going to get attached to anybody that's in it, and I'm just going to wait to see what the connection is, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll probably still see it, but can you imagine the impact, like the emotional weight would have been 10 times higher for her end in Endgame. Had we just had this come out just a year earlier. I just don't get why they would have a prequel come out after all that, because it feels meaningless in a way.
Absolutely. That's my point.
Because if she didn't die at the end of... Well, not at the end, but if she didn't die in Endgame, and then this came out, like, it would have been fine. But the fact
I
that
would
the
absolutely
character
have no
is dead...
issue with it. Yes.
Yeah.
I would have no issue with it if it came out, if she did not die in Endgame and then this came out. I have absolutely no issue. The fact is the arc of the character is over, and now we're going to go backward and rehash something. It has no bearing now.
Well,
I don't need her fleshed out.
Brian and
you don't
I
know that.
have discussed that before, where we had said, like, it could set up a villain for a future movie. It could introduce other characters that will also appear in the future.
Yeah, and in fact, Taskmaster is going to be in this. So,
Well,
it's
just
possible.
Just because Taskmaster's in this doesn't necessarily mean that he will be in anything in the future, but...
Because
I agree.
The Marvel way is to kill the villain off at the fucking end of the film anyway.
I had the same feeling coming out of Endgame, knowing that there was a Black Widow movie coming, like, oh, she's dead now. Well, what the fuck does that mean for this? But it's also just trusting that Feige and Marvel Studios in general, they know what they're doing. They're going to get good writers, and just because she's dead in Endgame doesn't mean that there's no meaning for this movie. They're going to show us if there's any meaning in this movie, and there might not be, and then that'll be a huge misfire for them.
Here's what I don't want is the film to be about 2 hours long, and there'll be little connections here and there to MCU stuff, and like, oh shit, that thing, oh that thing, oh shit, and then the film ends, and you're like, wow, that was interesting as a spy film or whatever you want to put the genre as, because Scarlett Johansson said that there is no genre for it. It's a bunch of different things. And then there be a post-credit or a mid-credit scene that connects something to something else, and then that's all anybody talks about. We fucking forget the 2-hour film that we sat through, and we just talk about the 30-second clip in the fucking in the credits. I hate that.
Right.
I hate that they do that.
And if that happens, then we'll fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Because it's just a feeling in my fucking gut is that the film's going to be passable, and then all we're going to talk about is what happened in the credit scenes. That's all it's going to be.
Well, we will find out next May.
Yeah, all of the TV stuff for the Disney Plus, none of it really piques my interest aside from the What If series.
I was going to say, What If sounds cool.
But it all depends on what they do with it.
Yeah.
You know, is it going to be like an animated thing? Is it going to be in the MCU? Like, as far as like, is it going to be like actors that we've seen just in different ways? Or are they going to bring...
I think I saw... I don't know if they confirmed it or if it was just people fucking around on Instagram, but I think I saw it was like, what if Peggy Carter was chosen for the Secret Soldier Serum or whatever?
I mean, I've seen a bunch of stuff on Instagram of just people messing around because I saw like a what if Spider-Man 4.
Right.
So, I mean, who knows?
And then the font decision for Loki, just from a design point of view, woof.
So I sent you that that logo, and underneath it was just like types in Comic Sans with a rainbow color.
I'm not saying the Disney Plus stuff doesn't look interesting. It absolutely does. I want to see what happens in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I just want to see it on the big screen. I want to see What If. I just want to see it on the big screen. I don't particularly care about WandaVision because it evidently takes place in like the 50s, they said, something like that. I don't know what the fuck that is.
How?
I don't know. Hawkeye, I mean, I like Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, but I don't know about a TV series for him.
Unless it's based on was it All New, All Different? It looks like that was the one where My Life is a Weapon. Mm-hmm. That one was pretty cool. The comic, if it's
that was Marvel Now, I think.
Oh, it's Marvel Now. Yeah.
So that's got potential, I guess. I don't know. And then Loki, I mean, the fact that it's the Loki from the offshoot where he took the Tesseract in Endgame and the time heist, I don't really care about that because it's not the Loki that we fucking care about, who died in Infinity War. So I like Tom Hiddleston in that role, of course, but I don't know. I just
that one to me more than anything just seemed like pandering.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That like the announcement of a Loki standalone series. That's just, and they were out front with just like, it's not connected to anything.
Yeah.
Like
it's just Loki having a good time.
Yeah, they were just like, girls, you like watching Tom Hiddleston? Well, now you get at least 8 episodes probably to do that.
Doctor Strange 2 seems very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I like that they're bringing...
So the name of Doctor Strange 2 is interesting.
Was it Multiverse
Multiverse of Madness?
Someone said it was going to be a horror movie.
Yes.
Awesome.
That's what they've said. And Scarlet Witch is in it.
And awesome. And Scarlet Witch is in it. I'm totally
there
on board for that.
There are a lot of rumors going around, and of course they could just be nothing, that this is how we get mutants introduced.
She does like that. She does a reverse House of M. And
right?
Yeah.
Either reverse House of M, or if they're going to go into multiverses, that somehow mutants from a different multiverse get pulled into the MCU's multiverse.
Yeah.
The Earth
so like
that.
to me coming out of Endgame and then having Far From Home be your epilogue, how is this not the first thing on your slate to try to just straighten out what that universe is?
Fair.
You know?
Yeah.
Because like this is like, it sounds like it could be a Flashpoint level thing where they could straighten out what they want to straighten out, make things crazy that they want to make crazy, and go from there. So why do we have to wait, what is it, 2021 before fucking Doctor Strange 2?
Fuck, really?
And the first one came out in 2016, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And Benedict Cumberbatch has to just like sit on his fucking hands and wait and take other projects and then be like, oh, I'm not available at the end of 2020, sorry. That's crazy to me. That film should have been in the fucking tape deck ready to go. That and Black Panther 2 and even Captain Marvel 2.
This goes towards the problem that Disney and Marvel have created, and it's a good problem. It's that they've got too many heroes now. They've got too many properties to fit into 1 year when they're only doing 3 movies a year. I wish they were doing a movie every 2 months. I would love to have six films a year. I would fucking love that. That would get attention on every single thing. They would be able to have sequels on a regular basis because they haven't announced when the next Spider-Man is, and I'm a little pissed that we're not getting Spider-Man 2 years from now.
The idea to me that they have too many heroes and it's hard to shuffle them into place, and then they were like, well, let's go backward first, is fucking ridiculous. Right? Like, they're like, oh, we have too many heroes on deck now to get everybody in a good amount of time. And they're like, ScarJo, we owe you one. Yeah. And you're gonna be first up after Far From Home. Like,
I'm not saying that that's what they're saying. I'm saying that's what it comes off as to me. That's why they don't.
No, I agree that they definitely have too many things.
Yeah.
So the Disney Plus thing, like Black Widow as a series would be very interesting to see it play out.
Absolutely. Yeah, you suggested that in the chat that, if they switched Falcon and Winter Soldier with Black Widow, thumbs up, and I'm completely all with that. That would be a smart fucking move, because I'm really, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'm super fucking pissed that Cap, the new Cap, the first black Cap, Sam Wilson is going to make his premiere in a goddamn streaming service TV show.
Yeah.
Like, Disney and Marvel have gone really far to, I don't want to say toe the SJW line, but maybe just toe a more progressive, diversive line where they want casts to be diversive. They want to promote female heroes, minority heroes, and so forth. And
I think progressive is fair.
Okay, progressive. So, and then you go and do the fucking most Disney thing possible of saying, oh, well, you want to see the first black Captain America? Buy our fucking streaming service. Like, that's exactly what I was hoping they weren't going to fucking do, and they're fucking doing it, and it pisses me off.
The first two films in the chamber, allegedly, are Black Widow and Eternals. And, like, Eternals?
Yeah. No, I feel
like, are you diving out of your chair to go see Eternals?
Look, I'm not. It has the potential to be an extremely interesting film, and it has the potential to be an amazing film. Because if you look at that cast, it's an amazing cast.
It is.
And I don't know what they're going to do with it. To me, it feels like how I felt when they announced Guardians, because I had no fucking idea about the Guardians. I knew nothing about the Guardians. And I know next to nothing about the Eternals now. So that in that way, that there's a comparison there, but I agree that it's an even deeper cut into Marvel than in the Marvel comics than Guardians.
Definitely.
So
I think the reason that Eternals is not a series is because of how badly Inhumans failed as a series.
Absolutely.
Because that was supposed to be a film in Phase 3.
At the end of Phase 3. That was supposed to be technically after Endgame.
And then Homecoming took it, or Far From Home took its place.
Yeah.
And they moved it into a TV show that lasted, I think, one season, and it's done.
I'm not sure it even lasted a full season. It had at least a few episodes, and then it was.
I think it got the 9 episode order.
Okay.
When they would normally extend it.
The worst part of that is that Black Bolt, which is a huge character in the comic books,
and an amazing character,
just gets fucking shelved again.
I was telling a coworker this, who's a huge Black Bolt fan. Like, the MCU will figure out how to do that. The Inhumans are too good a group and a source to just not do that again. So I have no doubt.
Yeah,
that they will.
There's opportunity with X-Men, and with Fantastic Four,
absolutely,
to bring back Black Bolt in a different way.
And he's part of the Illuminati. And if you think they're not eventually going to do the Illuminati, like, they have to.
I just hope that they have him wearing more than a leather jacket.
Right. Oh, good God. Jesus Christ, that was bad. But yeah, so...
and then Thor Love and Thunder. Anyway.
I'm looking forward to it. So.
Bob and weave.
Stick and move.
So the title is interesting. I don't like that they shot their load with Natalie Portman holding the hammer right out of the gate.
Yeah, that would
that would have been a fun reveal to have in at least the second trailer or the film.
Yeah.
So just the idea that they're like, the girl's gonna have the hammer is just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They can't help themselves. They can't fucking help
themselves.
Can
we just have one surprise, please? We just hold your load until the movie, and then you can blow it.
To be fair, I didn't see Scarlet Witch dying in Endgame, so I didn't see that coming. So
that is fair.
They are still able to do it. I didn't see them, revealing Peter's identity in Far From Home.
Yeah.
So
well, then they're just choosing not to, and that's worse.
I agree.
But it's just like, so obviously when they made Mighty Thor in the comic books have the hammer, it was interesting to find out. And you didn't find out, I don't think, at the beginning who the woman was that was wielding the hammer.
I think it took a
really?
year. I think it took
wow!
It didn't. It wasn't like first issue. She takes off the helmet. It's like, I'm Jane Foster.
Oh,
they didn't do that.
That's cool.
So it's just weird to me that they were just they couldn't just withhold some information.
Yeah. It would have been just
announce that she's back.
Exactly.
Because the fact that Natalie Portman's even back is huge.
Because she evidently signed that deal months ago and then didn't say a fucking thing about it.
Because all the reports were that she hated doing it or whatever. She was hard to work with or whatever.
She went full on Idris Elba.
Yeah. So it's at least interesting to be like, and Natalie Portman's back. Everybody like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What? And you don't have to say that she's gonna be fucking Thor. You don't have to say that. But now it leaves the question of Thor 4 and Guardians 3 with how does she get the hammer? And maybe even Doctor Strange 2, how does she get the hammer?
Just to wrap up the Phase 4 thing, though, for anyone listening, come back, because at D23, it's rumored there's going to be the Phase 5 announcement.
Jesus.
And we're going to get a lot more answers, hopefully, with the X-Men and Fantastic Four and all that.
Yeah. Oh, follow up to our Far From Home thing, and with Phase 5 announcement coming up, not only was the building that Peter flew through rumored to be the new Baxter building, the old Avengers Tower. As he did that, there was this infographic along the street where it says, it shows steps 1, 2, 3, and then a big question mark, like what's coming next. So they definitely hinted at that in the film. So it's coming.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's coming.
Awesome. I thought you were going to say there was a big orange blocky guy.
Everyone
just Ben Grimm hanging out. Hey, Peter.
Well, he had a trench coat. It's very hard to tell.
Hey, Peter, it's clobbering time. Bye.
Hey, Peter, it's clobbering time.
So yeah, we're very excited from the different stuff that we talked about with Comic-Con. Let us know what your favorite stuff was.
Of course, it was just way, way too much to cover in, fucking however long this thing is. But yeah, let us know what you thought. What are some things that we didn't mention? What are you excited about?
Did you miss Warner Brothers not being there?
Yes.
I did.
As did I.
Yep.
Because we had talked about it briefly in the chat. There was I didn't know what even was announced other than the Marvel stuff. I missed all of it. Nothing was that big.
Yeah, it really was Marvel Studios Con.
Yeah.
So hopefully next year, all those other, I think Universal as well wasn't there. So hopefully they'll be back next year. We'll see. Stay tuned.
All right.
Don't touch that dial.
That's called a cliffhanger.
So for Pop Kannon, this has been episode 21. I'm Jordan.
I am Robert.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Brian.
Are we going to keep this banter up? What's tradition at this point? We got to... Neat.